I'm Robbie Fox, this is Meatball Molly, and this is Spinning Back.
Oh my God! Oh my God! She didn't hold that.
My leg is dead right.
Can you say?
All right, it's the Spinning Backfist MMA podcast, and we are back here with Meatball Molly. You were on last week, you're on this week. You just went to the Katie Taylor fight at the Garden. We saw tweets all about it. Chris Cyborg saying Dave is like standing up to people in defense of you.
Uncle Dave.
We got to talk about this fight. Talk to us about the night. Talk to us about the highlights. Dave stepping up in your defense. What happened there?
If we just get to that bit before we actually get into it. So, MVP Promotions was sat in front of me, so DAZN has thought, let's not put Molly with her family and Katie Taylor's family, let's put her with the opposition. So I was sat there, but I was sat next to Ryan Garcia, who's at Gymshark with Katie, and Chris Cyborg, obviously, who I know. And I believe it's some of the Paul family was sat in front of me, and there was two kids, the wife, someone's wife, and the husband, like a videographer guy. And when the wife sat down, I was like, oh, your kids' jacket's amazing, because they had bespoke tailor-made suits and dresses with Serrano, like, sprayed on the back. Like, it was a really great occasion, and I said, I apologise now if I curse or shout too loud for Katie, because that's my family. So she was like, no problem, blah, blah, blah. So it's getting to round 5.
Oh, yeah.
This is the round of all rounds. So they think, like, Serrano was edging the round. It looked like Katie was in deep trouble, and Sky Nicholson, the second fight off the card, the female, shout in a little Australian accent, Molly, tell them to sit down. So here's me. Excuse me, can you please make your children sit down? They can't see behind. So the mum's like recording her and the kids, and she's like, sit down, kids, and carrying on. And then the boy was sat in front, and I just tapped him on the shoulder, said, excuse me, little man, can you sit down? Or, excuse me, mate, something like that. And then the father goes, don't fucking speak to my kid like that. Like, I just fucking flipped. And he was going, who the fuck do you, like, but bear in mind, he's not looking at me, his eyes are on the camera. Don't speak to my fucking kid like that, blah, blah, blah. I was going, sorry, mate. I said, I've just asked your wife. I said, they can't see behind. Anyway, he's caught up in the midst of what's going on, like, just looking. And I went, mate, that's me cousin in there. Like, I'm not trying to cause any trouble. We just asked him to sit down. And I was on my seat for quite a lot of the night, so, like, I get it. Like, I was getting told to sit down, they was getting told to sit down. Like, I get it, do you know what I mean? And then he kept fucking going, and then he was saying shit like, what was he saying? You've got to see your fucking cousin lose, you're going to watch again, like, I mean, going in. And I was just like, I just stopped, because I thought, his kids was there, and I thought, right, I just said, please, let's not ruin this moment. Like, let's just not ruin this moment. His wife's just touched me, and she was just like, just please stop, because he's not going to. And I was just there, and I was just like,
Do you think they had any idea who you were?
No, I don't know, actually. I don't know. But then I was, like, starting to shake, and I was nearly crying, because I was thinking, you're going to fucking ruin one of the best moments in combat sport ever. And then he went again, and then Cyborg stood up, then Ryan Garcia stood up, and then Dave fucking stood up, and he was like, that's my fucking girl, like, blah, 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 blah. So Dave knows this woman anyway. And after the fight, just as the announcement's about to get drawn and that, he calmed down a bit, hadn't he, Ellison? I think he kind of been told, like, shut the fuck up, kind of
She'll
thing.
hit you with a spinning elbow.
Yeah, and
I'll have you leaving here in a stretcher.
And honestly, I was just trying to hold my nerve and show a bit of dignity and grace about me, and I was just thinking, thank fuck I didn't drink alcohol all night, because
I was going to ask if you had any bevies in you.
No, like, we had stayed out till 3 in the morning with the Smith brothers the night before, so obviously Liam Smith was the co-main, hence the voice is still gone. And
it was a great fight too. The co-main was great.
Fucking great, wasn't it? And I just remember, I just, like, touched my girlfriend's hands, and I went, I fucking swear to God, if she's lost. I didn't think she had lost. I thought she had won by 1 or 2 points. But I said, if she loses, he's going to put this camera right in my face and be like, ah. And anyway, when she won, I just didn't even gloat. I was just like, yes, I was fucking buzzing because of the adversity she overcame in that round to come back. And when it had all calmed down and David had a decent conversation, he kind of just said, you handled yourself really well then. And I went, you're just lucky them kids weren't there. And he said, I know, otherwise you would have hit me, wouldn't you? I said, absolutely. And then anyway, we shook on it, and that was that, do you know what I mean? But it was a bit of a, like, I've still said, like, it's still with me, because it took everything I had in me not to just punch him. And I thought, could you imagine, like, a family member in the ring, the biggest moment of her life, who's so non-violent but yet violent in the ring, and the family's all over there, and then it's like, oh, fucking black sheep of the family, no, stick to MMA, stick to MMA. So yeah, I just tried to do the best, but we was there, we must have been literally one of like the first 100 to be let in. Like I was there from 4:30 and then one of the last out. The fire that the Puerto Ricans brought, and the atmosphere, I've only heard stuff like that a few times, and I remember saying to, maybe even to Steffi Bull, who's Terry Harper's coach, one of the female boxers from England, I said, I think I even said it to Katie on the comms on the open weigh-in. I said, this night will surpass the gold medal fight that you had, and when you fought Natasha Jonas at the Olympic Games in London, I said the decibels will be higher for that. And I remember when she's walked out and she normally comes out to the Lars, there she goes, but she came out to a Hillsong song, and she just took it in, and I was just fucking crying. I was just like, oh my God, this is just powerful. And then if you take it back to the Beefy fight, you see me when I was singing and then started slapping the guy's head next to me, and that went viral. And
that guy's reaction cracked me up too. He was just like having a good time with it immediately. Yeah.
I know, it was like 99% of the tweets were really positive as well, and then you had your 1% douchebags, and that is obviously. But I was really surprised it didn't get more hate, to be honest. But I am me, and I'll never change, I suppose. So imagine if I had alcohol in me then. It's probably been mollywopped everywhere.
Mollywopped. Wow, we need to put that on a shirt.
That's an actual...
You're about to get mollywopped.
Do you know if you go in the Urban Dictionary, it's like a pimp slap?
Oh, yeah.
That's what that means.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe
Why,
I'll
because
try
backhand?
Yeah, a backhand. Maybe I'll try and do that in the next fight.
So you're going to be like your version of the stop
the
and
Nate
slap.
Diaz, just a backhand.
Oh, there's the
That's
mollywop. That would be awesome. But
That'll
you
be your
mentioned the
WWE
crowd.
move.
Yeah.
Your WWE move.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've been sat there and everyone's going, how are you going to like beat the next... What's the next fight? What's the next knockout or fourth? Fuck it, I'm going for the Rolling Thunder. That's what it's called, isn't it?
Rolling Thunder, like the RVD, like when you're spinning and shit?
The
RVD! The end of the... What was it? The end of the second round when I done the big, like... the big fingy slam.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was like, they call that an air raid crash. That's actually,
really?
There's an Irish wrestler that does it. The Sheamus, his name is. Yeah.
Sheamus.
I'm on him, actually. I'm on him. Well, maybe I'll try the
Have you
Rolling
met?
Thunder.
Do you know Sheamus or no?
No, but I think I've seen him online.
He's a big.
I know there's also a
Liverpool
wrestler
guy.
from the same part of Ireland as Katie.
Yeah,
Bray County. It's Finn Balor.
Oh.
You know him?
No, but I've seen that there was a few Irish people speak pre-fight on
Becky Lynch was one of them.
Yeah.
She's a female wrestler,
Yeah, and they was all just saying, because of you we can, kind of thing. And it's mad, 1.5 million pay-per-views. Think about how many...
How was that? How many people? It
On
was
DAZN, they put it out
1.5.
today. Yeah, 1.5.
Oh my God!
I
Wow.
think how many people streamed illegally,
Wow.
and how many
many
people were in pubs or in...
1.5 would almost set
That's a huge
every
num-
UFC
that's a huge
record
number.
outside of like
I think it's
McGregor,
like
Habib.
they put it in different categories because DAZN they count as like streaming versus pay-per-view or whatever.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Oh, so it will have been a stream as well. Like,
Yeah. But crazy fight. It is your birthday today, so happy birthday!
Thanks,
and what are your
guys.
birthday
Happy birthday.
plans?
We just had a bagel.
Honestly, that's how you start a birthday in New York.
No,
Put a
but
candle right in the bagel.
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, no, I think
yeah.
what have I been here for 8 days, and I don't think there's been one day I haven't drank alcohol. So
It's birthday week, kind of.
I know, but I feel like I'm done now. I feel like the end of a hangover movie. Like, I'm ready to start fight camp. Like, I was saying to Ellis before, I was like, my liver is killing, or my kidneys, or like just this one. Like, oh my God, because everywhere we go, we just get free shit. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anyone's seen my Instagram stories.
Yeah, I have.
But when after
I've been on top of everything.
yeah, well, we ended up going to some club. I think it was called PhD.
Yeah.
And when we was there,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like great bottle of Grey Goose, bottle of Grey Goose, like magnums of Veuve Clicquot and Dom Perignon, and I was like,
I saw pictures of you with Liam's title, just like
just flying around. But because there was about 30 of us who came out for Liam, do you know what I mean? So it's been, I feel like on a real low. Yesterday, me and Ellis went to Coney Island. It was fucking shut.
Cool.
We then went to the Brooklyn Museum. It was fucking shut. I was like, oh my God. I know. So I feel like we've had such a high of a week. It's like
now it's sort of coming down.
Yeah, but after this, I think
Did you wake up for Sunday morning?
church.
No.
Oh.
Well, kind of.
Oh. Well, we went to church actually. We went to
Oh.
Hillsongs, but I didn't wake up to watch
Everton.
the Everton game. I missed it. But I've
wow.
woke up.
Did you
as
think
like
it was fake?
Listen, I've woke up.
I mean, you guys beat
No,
Chelsea.
I know. I woke up to like a load of like tweets going off, and it was like extra time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I woke Ellis, we've won, because obviously she works for them. So if they get relegated, she's up Shit's
yeah.
Creek.
She gets
So
relegated, yeah.
She gets no money. Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. And then I'm not sure if you guys seen, but as the buses arrived at Goodison Park, it was all pyrotechnics. Everyone was singing.
Oh, really?
There was like a couple of thousand fans outside and just like geeing the team up. And
Is Everton in the clear? They're
No.
not gonna get relegated?
No.
But that was massive.
yeah, so there's like 5
That
games.
was
I
massive.
think we have 5 games.
They beat a
And-
team they weren't supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Okay. Oh,
And if we
nice,
beat
yeah.
the next one, I think we've got
Yeah.
one more game in hand still. And
Yeah,
if we
you
beat
do.
the next one, then we're out of the relegation.
They're pretty good right now. They're safe.
All right.
Much
Fingers
safer
crossed
than they
for-
were.
for Everton. Let's talk about this card. You're going to this card, UFC 274, 2 title fights. Obviously, Gaethje and Oliveira, that's the one everyone's talking about. And then Nama Yunus Esparza, Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson on this card. What is the one that you're looking forward to the most?
Well, it'll always be Rose and
Oh, yeah?
Carla for me. I really, really feel and draw from here a lot that we're quite similar. And I'm not comparing my fighting style and her success like they're the same, because they're not. But mentally and spiritually, how we approach a fight. And you can see the fights we've lost. You can probably see in the camp in the lead up, it wasn't right in here. But when we conquer that in there, then like we're capable of really, well, she's greater things than what I am, but I feel like we're capable of really good things. And I love how she speaks, and she has positive affirmations, and it just never gets, it doesn't get any better than when she was just looking at Joanna just saying the Lord's Prayer, do you know what I mean? And Joanna was just like goading her at the weigh-in, and or was it at the, when they was about
It's
to
the
fight?
face-off, yeah.
And she was just like,
Oh,
as
I know.
as
As
cool
cool
and
as she
yeah.
could
Do you
be.
know her? Have you met her?
No, but she followed me a few years ago, and then I think for, what's it, coach Trevor Whitman put a post out once saying we need training partners, and I think it was for the Andrade fight. And I thought, I messaged saying I'll come over if you need me, but where my camp was and hers, it didn't work. But I'm similar build to her, so that would have really worked. But when you talk about like my heroes in the sport and who I love, it's like Gaethje and Rose.
Oh, wow.
It's really them. And I got to see Gaethje fight in, I can't remember if it was Eddie Alvarez. I think it was Eddie Alvarez or Dustin. Who was it? At UFC 218. Who was it when that was Max Holloway and Jose Aldo. But I was in his changing room anyway, and I was in a changing room with Henry Cejudo, Tisha Torres, him, Amanda Bobby Cooper, and someone else. And I remember just watching him warm up, and he was like listening to like reggae, and I was just thinking, what the fuck are you? Like, you are the maddest cat. And he was just enjoying it, and I was just thinking, you're absolutely fucking mental.
Yeah, it was Eddie.
Yeah.
It was Eddie winning it. And I'm not sure if Eddie came back to win that fight.
Eddie won it.
Yeah, and Eddie won the fight, but I always thought, like, the shots he was taking, and he should have been out. And I just remember the leg kicks that Eddie, like that whole card, that was when, the Dutchman, Alistair Overeem, like, died on Wikipedia. Do you remember when he got the uppercut of Doom, and then, like...
That was like the big... Yeah.
That was the Francis uppercut?
Yeah, and
Oh
Wikipedia said that he died on that day.
Yeah.
Which was really cool, but...
Thank God he didn't actually die.
Yeah.
Oh, Cejudo was on this card.
I didn't know Shogun was on it.
Oh, yeah.
2 Legends fights in the main card.
I mean, that one, Lozon Cerrone,
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
mean-
stoked about that. Lozon was like one of my first favorite fighters.
He's a Boston native. I've seen him
Yeah.
at Fight Island. I've seen him in Boston. He's always been really lovely to me, and I just think he's a mad cat. He's really cool. And then you've got Donald Cerrone. He's a little bit, if his head's there, he will absolutely take souls, and if he's not, he's still going to give you a fight of the year.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Might be a retirement fight for both of them, to be honest.
I thought Dana said that even.
Yeah.
That he said basically the loser should retire.
yeah. Well, I was
I think
thinking
the winner
that,
maybe like go out on a good win, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Lozon hasn't fought since 2019.
Yeah.
And that
What
was,
was
that's
his
supposed
first
to be
fight?
his retirement fight
who was
too.
that against?
I know he won.
Was it
he
Fight Island?
He knocked somebody out too. I can't.
It was Jonathan Pierce on the Reyes versus
First
Weidman
round,
card.
too.
Yeah,
Fuck
first
yeah,
round
sorry, I
knockout.
was on that card.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
shit.
forgot about that? That's
Yeah,
funny.
well, sorry, I was probably drunk by this point.
Yeah.
Like, I had an after party, and I say after party, I literally just brought everyone back to a hotel room, and they put us in a function room.
Those
and,
are the best after
And I
parties.
literally just kept pulling gin, like pink gin out, and everyone was like, oh my God. But yeah, I feel like we watched Countdown the other day, because obviously who doesn't? And I watched Tony Ferguson, and I just thought, you are mad. Like, he's always been a madness, but I thought, like, I'm not sure if you're a bit deranged at the minute. Like, or it's called estranged. Fuck, he's both. But, like, he had a really white beard, and I just
He's got a white beard?
like, silver fox.
I didn't see that. Wow.
He
Yeah.
has one of my favorite press conference moments ever.
What, the Dana White privilege?
No, well, that was, yeah.
good.
That was
a good
great.
show.
That was great. That was
him
great.
him and Habib, when one of their many press conferences, I guess, he had the baseball in his hand, and he said Habib's never been in a street fight, and Habib, like, I've never seen him that insulted. And then he goes, Tell me, when have you been in street fight, Tony? When have you been in street fight? And then he said, I'm from Real Mountain.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said, like, I'm from Real Mountain. And he's like, you American guy, you've never been in street fight. And then Tony Ferguson goes, I'm from Oxnard, bitch, which I guess is like in Michigan somewhere.
I don't know if that's
And
like
then Habib
holds
goes,
a candle to Dagestan.
Habib goes, Oxnard, where's this Oxnard you speak of?
Do you
But
have a
if it-
pick in the main event, by the way? Gaethje? Do you lean on Gaethje because you like him?
Heart is Gaethje, head says Charles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's it's still his time. Like, do you know when you can kind of see the decline of like when the fights start going to like points decisions, and you
Yeah.
kind of think, okay, like your time's kind of up. I still don't think he's there yet. And Trevor Whitman was so complimentary of him, and just saying, what I do know about him is when he gets knocked down, he comes back even harder. And they keep trying to hold a hat on like he's had quit in him, and when you've quit once before, you know how to quit again. And Gaethje's kind of like, I've never quit before and stuff. And
Yeah,
you could beg to differ and argue the fact, well, you may have in the Khabib fight because you tapped.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
True, yeah.
like, I mean, I'm all for Justin. I'm just trying to be balanced.
Yeah, playing
That
devil's
Habib-
advocate.
Yeah.
That submission that Habib had on Gaethje,
I don't even
though.
think he had. It was the triangle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Because he
had
said
like
he
a-
didn't want to break his arm in
He
front
said
of his
Yeah.
parents.
because he respected him so much. He didn't want to break his arm in front of his family because he had said he wanted to tap.
Yeah, so he switched
So he
from
purposely
armbar
switched
to
the armbar
triangle.
because he thought he would have to snap his arm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And did you see
Crazy.
his foot? Did he have a broken foot in that fight?
Habib said,
Yeah,
he
and then
did.
you seen it, and like he was even
Blown up like a
squeezing.
balloon,
yeah,
in
he
the
was
words of
squeezing
Connor.
on
But
that.
Gaethje, do you keep bringing up Whitman? Could you see yourself going and training with him?
Like, there's a few coaches in this
Yeah.
world. Like, I was always like that with Dean Thomas. I always
Yeah.
wanted to train
Yeah.
with him, and we've got a really good relationship. But if you watch Rose's few fights, he used to throw kicks and a lot more wild submissions, and then he's just calmed it down, and to the foot and the shoulders and the hips and everything popping off the jab. And I feel like I have got that kind of, you could coach me that way and refine me that
Yeah.
way. And I
She's
just-
got awesome footwork. When you watch it in the octagon, like the way she gets
the
in and out
range
of angles
management
and stuff.
and distance control is
She's
just
a-
second to none.
Yeah.
And
I love those Joanna fights, both Joanna fights.
and she's like
fun to
5'7",
watch.
isn't she, or 5'6"?
she?
She's so big for their
Rose?
weight.
Yeah.
for
I
the-
think like 5'5", I think.
Is she?
Because like Carla's only like 5'1". I was looking today just their like measurements.
With Oliveira, not to get off of this Rose fight, this
5'5".
goes with it too. But Oliveira, it almost seems like he wants to like almost get knocked down. It's almost like
it's got
Paddy the
activate
wakes him up.
Yeah.
Is that something
Yeah.
that you relate to at all, or no?
Fuck me, I've got like someone put a rocket up my ass when I fight. I'm just like,
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
In the last fight, definitely.
Yeah,
that's
well,
what
I
it
just
looked
thought, go and fuck a bitch up, do you know what I mean? But for future, like, I've kind of secured my place within the UFC,
Exactly,
so
yeah.
I'm about to, like, show a whole different side to me. That's what we're going to try and do. But I do think some fighters, our Paddy's the same. Like, if he's on the back foot at the beginning, you think, what's going on here? And then when he takes a shot, it's like you need to wake up.
It likes to wake them up.
That was in
Sometimes-
his debut. Like,
yeah,
that shot totally
same.
woke him up. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that could be a bit of UFC jitters, which
Totally.
he's probably naive enough to even think that's what it was. He's just like, I was just cold. Do you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and that could be it. You could be cold and it takes you a while to warm into it. But I think Carl will start off really, really quick. I think Michael Chandler will as well. It'd be good to see.
It'll be really interesting to see if Carla can get the takedowns on Rose that she wants. I mean, it is a rematch from the Ultimate Fighter.
It was so long ago.
So long ago. Like,
I think Rose still had
both-
long hair, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, she did.
Both
She had, like,
fight-
braids.
Yeah, both fighters in this fight. Carla will be scared because of everyone. Rose Namajunas has basically finished everyone. But Rose will still have that thing in there going, she finished me. I know I wasn't ready, but she still finished me. And I just think Carla will panic shoot, I think. And I think all Rose has to do is be patient and keep fainting and twitching, showing the knees. Because I just think flying knee or switch knee or step back and big uppercut when Carla shoots in
will be key to, like...
Yeah, because she's got the chain.
Right. Imagine that, a flying knee.
No, I know she's got the chain wrestling. Like, she'll be good on the single, and then she'll
Yeah.
find a way to do an inside trip off it. Because I've watched so many of her fights. But then you watch Rose, and now Rose has adopted that same takedown. So, I mean, she's training with some good gears in Colorado.
I
and
think she's gotten much better at her takedown defense. Like,
Yeah.
just
do you know
all
what?
of it.
Well, I was reading something today. If someone attempts more than 7 takedowns, there's like a 70% chance that they're going to get that she'll be taken down, or more, like, high percentage. But if they only try 1 or 2, she can stuff them and go again.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
that is a madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Meatball
All right.
statistic over
We
here.
do have to get you out of here so you could go do Pardon My Take. So everyone go check out the Pardon My Take
Oh,
interview
yeah.
whenever that comes out. I'm sure that's going to be a great time. And then check out when we hit 20,000 subscribers. You're going to leg kick me today. We're going to release the video when it hits 20,000.
And can I just say, may the 4th be with you, lad.
Thank
This is more
What a
your day
present.
than
Thank you. I
mine.
really appreciate
What a
it.
gift.
It is. I was
I know,
saying
it
it's
was
like
like
a religious
phase-
holiday for me.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, I should have off today, to be honest. The office should be closed, but we appreciate it, Molly. And we'll see you in Phoenix. I'm sure you'll be on the UFC broadcast and all that stuff, mixing it up.
I know, I do too. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course. I'm Robbie Fox. This is Meatball Molly, and this is Spinning Back.
Was that bad, lad? Sorry. Sorry, lad.
Tap Robbie. She didn't hold back.
I don't know what I was supposed to.
No, you weren't.
So
That was
imagine,
great.
imagine Justin Gaethje does that to that's really in my leg. And untied my shoes.
Oh my God.
Was that bad,
Oh my God.
Sorry, lad.
Tap Robbie. She didn't hold back. I mean,
Dude, that's for fucking real. That's right. My leg is dead right.
Can you stand?
Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, lad. Yeah, my shin is actually sore. My shin. Thanks, Robbie, lad.
All right, thank you to the Meatball for joining, as always. Go check out her interview on Pardon My Take. I don't know if it's out now or if it'll be out in the future, but whenever it is out, I'm sure that's going to be a blast. She's pretty much never on a podcast and not entertaining. She's kind of just one of those
I think
people.
a PMT is going to Like that interview is going to be great.
Yeah, you
Especially
put a
for
mic
her.
in front of her, and
I think
it's
people are
perfect.
going to be like, "Oh my God, this girl's a star."
She's the best.
Which we know, but not everybody knows.
And she's like that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Cameras on,
24/7.
cameras off. You walked into the room and she said, "What up, bitch?"
Yeah, what a bitch. I like that. I was like, oh, that was good. She's not calling someone she hates a bitch.
No,
it's-
that's
she
one of
may,
her
but
lads. Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck this bitch up.
Yeah.
We got to talk UFC 274, an absolutely massive card, as we talked about, as we touched on with Meatball Molly. 2 title fights. We're going to start with the prelims, kind of work our way up, and I'll throw to Ev and Jack Mac. Ev, you really came prepared with a card full of picks. I like when you write it out for real. That's how you know someone's really prepared.
I'm a
with
pen to
picks.
paper guy. I'm not. I work for a technology company. I'm not a technology guy. I've been on record. I didn't own.
Still don't have a computer, right? You don't have an iPad?
I don't own a laptop to this day. I didn't own one in college. I graduated somehow from a 4-year university in 6 years.
So let's
But-
talk about prelims to start. What are your favorite plays, favorite fights on the prelims, kind of starting with the bottom, working your way up?
So my favorite is probably got it as, for me, like this is kind of a levels fight a little bit. Like I just think she's fought like much better competition. I just think she's a lot better. Like it's pretty simple. I just don't think like Carnelosi's like very good.
I think she's like Lupita is Carnelossi, but levels better.
That's what I'm
they have
saying. Like the
same
styles are very
same
similar.
style.
She's just much better. The line's minus 185. Like I'm usually not crazy about laying like juice like that. For MMA, I've gotten a little better with it because I think there's some lines like this where, like I think she should be minus like 350, like
wow.
something like big. Like I just think she's a lot better. So minus 185.
Who did she fight last? I don't even remember her last fight.
She fought Luma.
Yes, and she won. Yeah.
But then she would
actually-
be minus 350 in this fight if she didn't lose to Luana Carolina.
Yes,
but she
agreed.
went up in weight like a week after the fight. Like she fought like back to
short
back
notice?
week on short notice and went up in weight. It was like Av said, like levels and literally like weight levels.
Yeah.
And I think I watched that fight recently. She like lost gas in the second round. I think if she won that or didn't even take that fight, she would be minus 350 here.
No, I agree. I just think she's a lot better. So that one, I mean, there's a few I'd say not like official plays. Like Journey Newsome, I like. He's plus money. Even Vergara, I talked about. I just loved him on the Contender Series. He's plus like 255. So I mean, he's just like a go for it guy, which I can appreciate as a fan. So I mean, not like an official play, but if you're looking for like some action on a long shot, I like Vergara as well.
I like Newsom too.
And then Fiallo's like a huge favorite, but I do think he should win. He's fought much better competition. This guy's fought like PFL. Like he's fought like guys like Chris Curtis. He's fought like I honestly thought he had a really good fight against Michael Pereira that was really close and he lost.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, he obviously just came off a unreal knockout over Miguel Baeza, who like those
How long
guys
ago was that at this point?
2 weeks.
like
Just
little
like
3-4 weeks
ago.
month?
Yeah. So did he just accept this fight immediately, or is he
No,
filling in for someone?
he
was
said
right
on
after,
that fight,
yeah.
he said like basically right after in his post-fight interview, like I want to fight on that pay-per-view.
Oh,
and
that's
Dana,
right.
And
That's
Dana
right.
and Dana was kind of like that was a hell of a knockout. Like we'll see if we can make it happen, and they made it happen.
I think Lee broke it on spinning back fist. Not
He-
broke it, but like he was like the
Yeah.
first one on.
Because Van Camp was supposed to fight somebody. I think it was. I want to say it might have been Nicholas Mata, maybe. He was supposed to make his debut on a card, and then like it fell through the other. Like I think Mata, or maybe it was him pulled out. But I mean, he's only. I think it's his UFC debut. I just think Fiallo's is
It's a
like
hell of a card to make your debut.
I just think Fiallo's much like the guys I listed. I'm talking like Chris Curtis. I mean, he's like 2-0 in the UFC with 2 knockouts. Michael Pereira, like a staple in the UFC for a while, like fought really good competition. Like Miguel Baeza, like all three of those guys are much better than anyone's Van Camp's fought. So Fiallo's a huge favorite. I think he's a parlay piece.
Okay.
He's minus like 350, but I think something like that, he's worth it.
I don't know if I want to put Lupita in the parlay though.
That's fair. I'd be.
Yeah.
I like to play a lot, but I do. Women's MMA, there's so many upsets and like scared. I hear you on that.
I'm so hesitant to even suggest anyone for the parlay after Andre Touchy-Feely. I just feel like it's like after you get into a car accident and next time you drive, you're like,
He's
oh,
got the
no.
yips.
Oh
I
no,
I
got the
do
yips.
really love. I mean, this isn't is this main card yet? But
No.
This is all prelim still.
all right. Well, I love Ivanov.
I do too.
yeah,
I think
love
Ivanov's
him.
gonna run not run through him, but he's gonna beat Rodrigo.
Also,
Lima.
he's got a chin of fucking steel.
I think I got to see him fight live before. I'm pretty sure I was at one of his cards, and I've honestly.
What's
liked
the
watching
odds on
him
that
fight
right now?
since.
Minus
He
140.
He's minus like 140 range. He lost a really close decision to Derek Lewis. I remember. I think that was like
Yeah.
a fight or two ago. But I mean, he's just a guy like he really doesn't get knocked out, and like Rogerio de Lima, if you remember, his last fight was that crazy, like, weird thing with Herb Dean with Ben Rothwell.
Yeah.
Where he, like, knocked him out, and then, like, Herb Dean kind of, like, grabbed him, and then he, like, and then he, like, stepped off, and then Rothwell kind of, like, went for the takedown, but he was hurt very badly. So that was kind of his last fight. He knocked out Rothwell, like,
that was a while ago, too.
Yeah, it was definitely less than a year. Probably, I'm going to spitball and say, like,
right?
I was going to say, like, 7 months.
Yeah.
6 months.
Now Rothwell's over at Bare Knuckle, making more money than
God bless him. God bless Ben Rothwell.
Funded by Diddy.
But yeah, I mean, just the chin that Ivanov has, I just have a lot of confidence in him over De Lima for sure.
And then I think we all love Royval in this fight.
I think Royval's a parlay piece as well. I would at least, that'd be my vote to put him in the parlay. I just think he's way better than Matt Schnell. I think he has more ways to win. I wouldn't be shocked if he finished him in the first round.
He's gonna pepper him up on.
That's I think first, second round finish.
I like him in the parlay.
So maybe if you like him inside the distance as well, probably I'm gonna guess around even odds. Probably.
Is that the highlight fight of the prelims, or is there one more?
No, honestly, there's a few more.
There's a bunch more. Okay.
So we have, I don't know if anyone likes anything in that, like Norma Dumont's minus like 250.
I think that's a little too, like, I think Macy Chiasson stinks, but she's not like, when she fights, she's so athletic in there. She's like, she almost looks like she should be much better than she is. But Norma, I'm not like that. I think that price is like almost perfect.
Yeah, that's a stay away for me.
That's a stay away. Like, I think Macy may even be worth. I don't know. I'll never bet Macy unless she gets like plus 350. But that one is, and I'm interested to see what Ev thinks about not the next one, but the one after that.
I was gonna say Trinaldo's back. Danny Roberts. The prelims on this card are kind of like it could be a fight night.
The
card.
Trinaldo Danny Roberts is a pick'em. Like, I don't hate Trinaldo. Am I crazy?
I like Trinaldo.
Like, he's just like the savvy vet. I just like guys like that with experience. I mean, I was going to see, what is he?
I really like Randy Brown, but I shouldn't have said really. I like Randy Brown in this fight. This is, Ev's talking about, or Ev and Robbie were talking about Trinaldo against Danny Roberts, but the fight after that's Randy Brown, Chaos Williams.
That's the featured prelim.
Yeah. It should be a good fight.
That'll be a great fight.
But also closer to pick him as well. I think Chaos is minus like 120.
Oh,
actually,
I don't hate Randy Brown there at all.
We're going head to head here. I'm a Chaos guy.
Yeah, I know.
I love Chaos.
We have a Chaos in Rough and Rowdy that spells it with a K as well, and I always feel like they're like connected, like all the pit bulls in MMA are connected.
He just like, I don't know. I just kind of like fell in love with him. I watched like a few there's a few good sites on YouTube, but one's like Elite Fight Club. They do like these fighter documentaries. And I watched one of him, and I watched him fight for a while, and he's been awesome. He just has like such a good story. Like, he's just a beast. Like, he came in, you remember he fought like Moreno.
Yeah.
He was literally on like a week's notice. He literally was like fixing cars.
Yeah.
Or like fixing, like he was like a handyman, and took it on like a week's notice and just knocked him out. He was plus like 275.
I remember his.
And he's been on like a great. I mean, he lost a really close fight to Michael Pereira that I thought should have went his way. He knocked out Miguel Baeza his last fight. He had a good win over Semmelsberger. He's just a tough-ass dude. I mean, that Abdul Razak Al Hassan knockout is one of the scarier, vicious knockouts you'll ever see.
Yeah. You know what's so funny?
As you said that, right? The dude literally was a statue.
Yeah. I thought you were about to bring up Abdu Rozak.
Me too. When I heard Abdu, I heard Abdu Rozak.
Yeah. So I'm like I guess you can call me a Chaos fanboy. I just fucking love him. He just has that, like, watch him. I'm telling you, watch him. Right before, like, when they show when the fight's, like, when they're about to be like fight, he is the most savage killer. The switch just flips. He's a fucking monster.
All right, you're selling me on him.
Also, I love he came out like he got his fight bonus, and he's the next one he's just in like Cartier shades and like a Gucci jumpsuit. I appreciate that. I'm just a Chaos Williams guy. I do love Randy Brown. It's no knock on Randy Brown. I like Randy Brown as well.
Both these guys are awesome.
I'm just a huge Chaos Williams guy, so I'll be betting on Chaos Williams.
All right, now the main card. First fight of the main card, the Legends fight that we touched on with Meatball, Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Joe Lauzon. I'm a Lauzon guy. Have to be a Lauzon guy. He was, like I said, one of the first people that even got me into MMA. I remember watching Brock Lesnar, Frank Mir, and then he was on a card just shortly after it. And he had a great fight. I think he lost, and he got the post-fight bonus. And then I watched a couple interviews with him. Always been a Lauzon guy. So I hope he wins, and I hope he gets to go out on a good win because he was supposed to a couple of years ago.
I kind of want to take Lauzon plus money. I know.
What are the odds for this?
He's plus 140. I think my real problem, just like my gambling brain, is just I love Cowboy. I have so much respect for Cowboy. Just seeing the way he's looked the last few.
Yeah.
It just really, I just have a hard time like laying minus
It makes the
170.
McGregor win feel less good every time he fights, I feel
Yeah.
like.
I just have a
Like,
really
damn.
hard time laying minus 175 with him, just the way he's looked. I mean, I just like Lozon's kind of a wild card. We just haven't seen him. We haven't seen him in like almost 3 years. So for me, it's kind of like plus money. Like he did perform well in his last fight, even though it was 3 years ago. So I see a plus sign with Lozon. I'm inclined to go that way. I think I am going to play it.
I'm on Lozon there. We got Shogun Rua versus OSP. Is this a rematch? Did they fight before?
I think
they
OSP
did.
knocked him out in like 30 seconds.
And there's the
first time
clip
they fought.
of Shogun like slipping. There's like that famous clip as he's fighting, he slips and like gets finished.
Yep.
I probably like OSP here again.
He's a big favorite. He's minus like 260.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just like I'm not laying 260 on OSP. Like it's just I don't mind him. I just like
No, yeah,
that's
I
a
agree.
massive
You're not gonna
price
bet on
card
it.
for him.
Yeah, you know,
and I wouldn't put him in any parlays. Like
Agreed.
Yeah.
I just like he's OSP. Like I think this should be on the prelims card, to be honest.
Whoa, wow. I mean, come on, legends. Shogun.
I mean,
Fair.
I honestly think, Chaos Williams and Randy Brown, I think is a banger.
you
Like
could
that,
swap
I think
those
that
two
is
fights.
That could be like the first one, and then put like.
But it makes
them in
sense
the
that
highlight
they
position.
probably want the
double
Randy
legends
Brown,
fights. I get it.
Yeah.
Randy Brown, Chaos on
To be,
ESPN.
yeah, to get people.
lead in.
That's gonna be a sick fight.
They usually like putting Cowboy on ESPN as the lead-in. I think
is
they put him
true.
as the lead-in when he was fighting Alexander Hernandez, I want to say.
The GOAT.
In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The literal GOAT.
Chuck literally just tagged us in that tweet earlier.
Oh, man.
Of Cerrone just like murdering Alexander Hernandez.
He's the literal. He's Alexander the Great.
OSP.
He's the next Charles Oliveira. Like he's losing now, but just wait on it.
I don't know. Every time I see him, I just think about his big cup. He has got the biggest cup in the UFC.
Yeah, because he's packing. He's like the Alexander the Great. This next fight,
This fight is a murder
I don't know why
in my
like
eyes.
this isn't minus 1,000.
This is minus 2,000. It should be. For
I
it's
swear to
Michael
God.
Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. I think they're sending Tony Ferguson into the Gladiators den
I
with
think
a
minus
lion.
4, whatever it is like insulting.
You want to know why I think it's like. Part of me thinks the odds are almost lower because they know that Chandler's not going to take like the easy route. Like
they know
Chandler,
he's
like,
gonna
like
try
I'm
to
saying,
put on a
he's
classic.
not like Chandler's like made it very clear he has no intention of wrestling. He wants to be like the people's champ. He wants to
Yeah.
just throw hands. I still think he obviously crushes him, but Ferguson is just. But if you think about his last 2 fights, like they were him just getting taken down. Like obviously Gaethje just like picked him apart for 5 rounds and just like, killed him. But I mean. Like the last 2 fights were him just like it was really no striking. It was just him getting taken down and getting held there for literally basically 15 minutes. Am I crazy that I kind of like Chandler by decision?
No, I don't
Because,
no,
because
it's a
Ferguson
3-round fight,
these
too.
fights like he doesn't get like literally Gaethje finished him and with a minute left in the 5th round. This is
Yeah.
a 3-round fight.
And that was even. It wasn't like he got knocked out. That was Herb.
Yeah,
like,
he
being
had
"Come
just
on." I
taken
think it was
a
Herb.
grotesque amount of damage for
Yeah.
5 rounds for literally
No,
any fight.
I don't
ever.
hate in a 3-round fight.
He's plus
I don't
two.
hate
He's plus
decision
2.
at all.
Chandler's plus 230 by decision. He's minus like 120, 130 by finish. It almost seems a little like, I don't know. It almost seems like you're walking into a little trap there. Maybe.
I think I want to play that. Now that you're saying that, I think I like Chandler.
I think I'm
decision.
gonna put a little something on Chandler by decision. It's plus 230, and then parlay piece Chandler.
Yes.
Money line.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
I think
yeah.
it makes.
So
it
we're
makes
at
sense.
this point. Are we putting Ivanov in the parlay or no?
We could if we want to.
Like,
He's minus 140, so he would like juice it up at least a
Yeah.
little bit. He's not.
and
like
I don't think
some
we're gonna
massive-
put the main event in the parlay.
No.
And even the co-main event.
I know, I
is, I think risky.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
I like Rose in
I
it, but
do
I
like
think
Rose.
the
I like-
price is
I like Rose,
perfect.
but it's also like when she fought Andrade, like who could have fucking predicted her getting slammed on her head?
I agree with you. Yeah, 100%. I'm not like confident. I think the price is right on Rose. What is she right now? Minus 190.
Yeah, like 200.
She,
pretty good.
I think there's like multiple ways. Like, let's just say Carla just like has her number and takes her down like a bunch of times, and I think Rose has gotten better at her takedown defense, and they've probably been training it for a while, knowing this fight was possible. It is a revenge game for Rose a little bit. Rose doesn't strike me as someone who like thinks a lot about her losses. She's just like on to the next one. She's very like present, and like she probably approaches it. It's not like sometimes, and it's especially true in team sports, but like the guys that beat you, you really want to get it back.
Yeah.
But this, I don't know if it's I think this is just a title fight for Rose. Like, it can't
I think
get
it was
better.
so long ago that
Exactly.
I
And it
think
was
it is like a
they're
fresh,
different people.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like she was like what, like 21? Like she's
Yeah.
29. Like she's a woman now. Like it's
Yeah.
just a totally different game.
But
I think it's like a fresh start.
I kind of like her inside the distance.
Rose.
She's plus
I don't hate
185.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
5-round
yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah.
Because to me, she has like she's not just like not like she has multiple. She's gonna win by knockout submission. Like
100%.
Look at her head
That's-
kick on Joanna.
that's what I'm saying. Like she has multiple ways to win. That's why 185 I think is a decent price. And she's minus 220. Like I wanted she's minus 210 actually right now. I don't hate her in the parlay, but I understand the hesitance.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then the main event. Everyone's been talking about this fight. It truly feels like a main event that, like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to go. And that's awesome. Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. This is a fucking banger. I'm sad that... I mean, I'm happy about calling the Canelo fight, of course. I'm sad that I'm going to have to miss this live because I'm sure the live environment's going to be amazing.
Throw it up on your phone in a little.
Like the Dana White when he's got, like, the Canelo fight on the
Little-
laptop.
You
Yeah.
can just buy the pay-per-view on your phone. Just
True.
you throw it, you expense it.
I might have
just
to
throw
do
it
that,
there.
yeah. I could, like, update people on the UFC card on the broadcast.
There you go.
I don't think the zone will like that.
And they probably
Sure
won't.
won't.
They probably,
I don't know, but
You know what?
just a guess.
You're probably
They
right about
definitely
that.
I'm thinking like you're just on like Rough and Rowdy's call. You're
Yeah.
calling Canelo.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Damn.
So this is the one I've been so like back and forth on it. I pretty much was gonna say the same exact thing that
You know,
that Molly did. That it's like my head is just like Oliveira has more ways to win.
Yeah.
He should win this. And for me, it's not. I love Gaethje, but I have so much respect for Oliveira. There's just this like little part. It's not even me like wanting Gaethje to win. It's just there's something I have this like little gut feeling that Gaethje's just
Sometimes
gonna like.
you get that gut feeling.
Like I just have this little gut feeling that Gaethje's gonna pull something off.
What's the furthest you think this gets? What round's the furthest that starts?
Third?
I think the furthest round that
Really?
starts the third.
I
think
think
it
they
doesn't
could
get
make
out
it
of
to the
two.
championship rounds.
Oh, really?
I think they're fucking savages. I think that this could be like a knockdown, drag 'em out.
Like Gaethje, because even when Molly said the same thing she said about Rose, you could say the exact same thing about with Whitman. You could say the same thing about Gaethje. That just the way like he's just changed his like. He's still the same, just like violent motherfucker, but he's changed.
A little
his
more
whole,
technical.
So technical, he's more calculated, I think, than he probably was previously.
Less willing to get
like
into those crazy
in the
fire
Poirier
fights and
fight
shit,
and
yeah.
in the Eddie Alvarez fight. It's like it really
I'd
really
be
is like
honestly
my head
like
or my
happy
gut.
seeing either of these guys win. To
That's
be honest, too.
that's what I'm saying. There's for me, I won't be like I'll be sad for both one that lose, and I'll be happy for both that win. Because it's a crazy one for Oliveira too. Because if he pulls this off, he puts himself in like a real like you're just like cleared out like two killers.
Yeah.
Two legitimate killers.
Do you think McGregor fires off some kind of tweet after this?
No, this is what's going to happen.
I think there's
Oliveira is going to win, and then McGregor is going to fight him. And
Step
Yeah,
into the title
McGregor's gonna.
shot?
I think McGregor gets the winner, maybe regardless.
yeah, I think
Because I mean Gaethje McGregor.
I think
is
McGregor
fucking
gets him in
fireworks.
September, October. And
Am I crazy for
knocks
saying
him
I
out.
think McGregor could beat both of these fighters?
Oh, 100%.
I mean he's capable of it for sure.
No, he's knocking out.
Those are
Charles
two chins
Oliveira.
that can get knocked out by Conor McGregor.
No, Oliveira's getting knocked out by McGregor.
Oh, I would could you? That would be my personal
would be-
Tiger winning the Masters
Oh,
after all of
100%.
that shit. Like,
He just comes back, takes the belt off 2 losses.
Yes.
And then Islam submits him in the first round.
oh
No, no.
We're not going that far.
No, see, if McGregor
retires. No,
if
he
McGregor-
leaves the
then Islam. They keep Islam. They make Islam fight like 3 more times.
Yeah, no, Islam. This is if Oliveira wins this fight, Islam Makhachev may not get a title fight until 2025.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, they're gonna keep him away forever. They're gonna make him literally go through like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
He's going to Eagle FC.
You have to.
Yes.
You have to take him.
This card is going to be fucking awesome, though. Like, obviously, I imagine if you're listening to the show, you're into this, you're going to order the card. This is worth, like, telling your non-fighting friends. Like,
For sure.
Watch this, and you can get into MMA through it.
There's just so many fights, especially when you look at like literally like honestly, really the entire card, but especially like chaos when like featured prelims to like main card, like it's literally like impossible for any of these fights to be boring.
I agree.
Literally impossible.
I agree. I think we're going
Like
to see a
how-
lot
like how-
of finishes on this card.
Like how can Joe Lozon Cerrone be boring? How can like OSP Shogun be boring? How can Chandler Ferguson be boring?
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible.
And it's not the only fights we've got going on soon, because on Friday, May 6th, we've got PFL coming back, and this is Kayla Harrison. We've got her on the show today. We're talking about this fight. So check it out. We've got 2-time welterweight champ Ray Cooper versus Carlos the Lion Leal. I believe I said that right?
Yep.
Did I?
Yeah.
Al rhymes with pal? Yeah. I said that right. Sorry, I did a little behind the curtain there. Obviously, Kayla Harrison coming in. I think she's going to murk her opponent. I hope we're allowed to say that on the ad. It's Marina Maknatkina. I think she's going to knock her out.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, real early. Obviously, former UFC star Anthony Pettis versus Miles Price. Anthony Pettis, another guy on this show that we were going to throw to in a bit. And then you can watch it on ESPN Plus, I believe, and ESPN 2 at 9 p.m. this Friday, May 6th. The prelims start at 6 p.m. You can get tickets on PFLMMA.com. It's at the Esports Arena in Arlington, Texas. And there you go. PFL this Friday. It's kind of like a pre-show to the UFC. If you want a weekend full of fights,
They're calling it
watch
the biggest
PFL.
card in PFL history.
No, it's a great card.
It is
Obviously,
a great card,
Kayla Harrison's the face. Ray Cooper's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
And then you get Anthony Pettis, fan favorite. Everyone loves Pettis, Showtime. It's a great card. Watch it on Friday night, then watch Canelo on Saturday night and UFC. Do the little split screen setup. Make sure you go to DAZN.com/Barstool for that. That gives us the credit. But for the PFL, there you go. Check it out on PFLMMA.com if you want tickets. ESPN Plus and ESPN 2 on the night.
Start the weekend right.
Start the weekend right. Now let's throw to our interviews with Kayla Harrison and Anthony Pettis. All right, welcome back to the Spin and Backfist MMA show, ladies and gentlemen. We are now here with the PFL's Kayla Harrison. I interviewed Kayla back in October, back when we were kind of unsure of where your future was going to be. And now here we are, PFL 3 on the horizon. How are we feeling?
Feel great. Ready to go.
I saw you say in an interview with John Morgan that you're real pissed about having to do all this media. Are you pissed about this interview right now? How can we make this a pleasurable interview for you?
I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to be quiet and keep my head down and work hard. No, I mean, it's not nothing personal against you guys. I just feel as if I'll say one thing and that is what gets blown up or, blown out of proportion. And the media does a good job of picking certain things. I mean, I could talk until I'm blue in the face about my foundation or my legacy or my family or positive things. But if I say, yeah, I want to kick Juliana Pena's ass, that's what, that's what gets the headline. So it's just like, you just get to a point where you don't really care anymore and you just want to go do your job and that's it.
Yeah, that's fair. Did that inspire like your tweet earlier today when you were like, Twitter's just full of a bunch of idiots that like need to basically like say this stuff to my face?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's more just like, I think just the overall negativity of social media that I have people either love me or they hate me. And, I'll have people who for no reason whatsoever just feel the need to send me a tweet saying that, like terrible things to me. Just I saw a message the other day that said, thank God your father died so he couldn't see you fight. And I'm like, it doesn't affect me, but the things that people say is atrocious, and I'm here to be a light in the world and to be a positive impact and to leave behind a positive legacy and not to deal with the negativity. So for me, it can be disheartening at times, I think, to see what the world kind of says and does. And I also I don't know. I live my life out loud, right? Like I live my life. I make no secret that I want to be the greatest. I make no secret my goals for myself, the drive I have, the dreams that I have. And to do that is to be vulnerable. You're vulnerable to society. You're vulnerable to people having an opinion, to people telling you can't do it, to people saying you're not good enough, you'll never be good enough, you don't do this, you don't do that, and it's all worth it to me because I would rather live my life this way than spend 1 second doubting myself or living in the shadows or not striving to be the best possible version of myself. And that's what I want. That's what I want my legacy to be. That's how I want my kids to live their lives. That's how I want people to remember me. Even if I fail, God forbid something happens and I fail and I don't reach my goals, at least I'll have given it my all. That's what success is to me.
Well, I mean, regardless of the Twitter trolls, obviously you've done a lot. How about we'll start with a lighter question. You won $1 million. What was the favorite purchase you made with the $1 million from the last season of PFL?
You don't have an answer that comes right to mind. That makes me think you didn't treat yourself after that.
I didn't really.
What the hell, Kayla? Come on, you got to have a treat yourself day.
More than the $1 million was really the time. I took a month off after the finals.
Okay.
So the time I spent time with my kids. I spent time with my family. I went home to Ohio, and that is priceless to me, you know? So having the break after the finals was really the biggest reward to me. You know, I think just spending time with the people I love.
Did things get hectic? Sorry. Did things get hectic right away, like with the contract negotiations and everything after that, or no?
Yeah, just in the sense that, you know, my manager was like, oh, you need to go here, you need to go there, you need to go this, you need to do that. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm in Ohio, so.
So so obviously it's kind of made note, like you were at the Nunez Pena fight. Would you have wanted to be there on your own, or was that something you were kind of like, they were like, this is a good idea if you're there?
No, they wanted me to come there. I mean, of course I would love to go watch Amanda fight. I had never seen her fight live up to that point, I don't think. So I was super pumped up for it. I was one of her main training partners for that camp. So
does that mean you were like the kiss of death? You were bad luck?
Oh, don't put that out there.
Sorry, but first time. It was our first time.
I'm good luck.
All right. I mean, when you're fighting, definitely. When Amanda's fighting, it's up to the judges to decide.
Because I just think people made a lot of it was I noticed immediately on the Thrill and Agony, they like cut the camera to you and you clearly were upset with how the fight went down, obviously.
Yep, I was.
So do you think well, I guess, do you think things would have went differently in terms of your free agency if the fight went differently?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, people put a lot of speculation into why I was there. I was there to support my teammate. I was there to cheer her on. I did have some meetings, but it wasn't like some big Brock Lesnar moment where I was going to get in the cage or something like that. That was, I was screaming "fuck" at the top of my lungs because I was upset for Amanda. I have been there many times in my judo career. I have been at the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I've lost on the biggest stage in the world multiple times. And when you are the greatest and when you have that target on your back, people want to see you lose. And I felt empathy for her in that moment. You know, I've been there and it sucks. There's nothing worse than coming up short. You know, it's fucking brutal. So that's why I was upset. I mean, people can say what they want about it, but my heart was going out to her.
That's fair, especially like a teammate, like you said, that you had been with, trained with for so long. Yeah.
Right. It's not like she's like a complete stranger. And I'm like, you know, I mean, I know her, our kids go to each other's birthday parties. Like we spend time on the mat every day together. It wasn't just some random, you know, this was somebody I really wanted to win.
Yeah. We talked to Don Davis a few weeks ago and about your re-signing, about this upcoming season. He called you the most important re-signing in PFL history by far. He was like, absolutely, we made it a priority. We have to get her back. What does that make you feel like when you get talked about basically as the face of the company like that?
I mean, it's an honor. You know, Don Davis is a very smart businessman. You know, he's built many companies from the ground up. He's very innovative, changing the game, doing a lot of crazy outside of the box. You know, he's a disruptor, and I have a lot of respect for him. And for him to say that about me is humbling, and I don't take it lightly. And I'm going to do the company proud. You know, I'm going to go out there and put on a hell of a show and be so good that the rest of the world can't ignore us. You know, I feel as if I helped build this company, and you can't say PFL without Kayla Harrison, and you can't say Kayla Harrison without PFL. And I think the best is yet to come. I think we've done great things already, but the best is yet to come.
I was like, in the same interview, he also said, I asked him about the thought. Obviously, people have made a lot of talk about like the co-promotions and like you versus like a cyborg or something. When I asked him, he said that he thought that was possible in like the first half of like 2023. How realistic do you think that is for you?
I mean, I would love it. I would love that. That was one of the main conversations Don and I had, you know, during the free agency, all of the drama period was like, you know, it's not personal, but I want to fight the best. That's what I want to do. And he assured me, we're going to do everything in our power to make this happen. You know, we want this as much as you want it. And I believe him. That's awesome. The fight I want. You know, I know Cyborg is saying a lot of stuff about going to boxing now. And I'm not surprised that she's saying that, but
we had her in, and she did say, she said she'll go to boxing for one fight. She just wants to do one off and then come back to MMA, it sounds like.
Okay, good. That's good to hear.
And she said, she said this summer was when she wanted to do it, so she wants to pretty soon.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Awesome. What are you looking forward to the most after you're done with this fight? I ask a lot of fighters that, like, you obviously have to, like, keep in fight shape, fight mind, everything like that. After the fight, are you like, oh, I can't wait to go do this, go do that, go eat this, go eat that? More time with your kids?
Yeah, I mean, I just, this is my job. I don't look forward to anything but the fight. Like, this is what I love to do. I get paid to do something that brings me great joy. And this is what I live for, this and my kids. So after the fight, I get to fly home. I get to see my kids. We're going to go to church the next day, and then I'm going to take them to school, and I'm going to get right back into training. I love what I do. I don't have to take breaks from it, because this is my great purpose and my greatest joy besides my kids.
And when it comes down to the fight itself, you think it's just going to be business as usual for Kayla Harrison?
Yes.
Yeah, figured. I almost asked, like, have you ever gone to church the next day, like, with a black eye or something? But it's like, no, you don't get hit. You don't get touched.
I mean, I have from sparring, but...
Oh, fair enough, yeah. But never from, like, you're never leaving a fight looking like you left a fight.
Yeah, Pedro Munoz is different level. So yeah, I've gone to church, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Fine."
Peace be with you. That's too funny. All right, Kayla, we really appreciate the time. We won't take you for too long. We know the media is a contentious topic with you right now. Yeah. Hopefully not us. Hopefully we're on your good side.
No, I don't mean it I just mean, like,
we know how you mean it. The way that they take the quotes and stuff.
Maybe I'm just a little bit fed up with
Name names.
I'm just a little...
Who do you hate?
I don't hate anyone. I just hate the way our society does things. I hate the way everything is so negative. And the most amazing gift we have every day is a fresh start. Every day we get to wake up and choose our mindset. We get to choose how we approach the world and what we do with it. And everyone has the opportunity to be a light in this world. And I hate that so many people choose not to be. So that's all it is. It's nothing personal against the media or you guys. It's just, I just want to be positive. Like, I have such an amazing life, and I've been at rock bottom. I've seen the lowest of lows. I've had no money, and I've lost everything and got it back again. And I've wanted to end my life and found, been at the highest mountains, and I've seen it all. And I can tell you that, like, every day is a gift, and we should treat it as such.
That's awesome.
Spread some positivity.
That was beautiful. I love that.
That was beautiful.
That was great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Kayla Harrison, obviously judo world champ, PFL champ, multiple-time world champ, multiple-time $1 million winner, and I like to say pro wrestling's next biggest star. Thank you, Kayla.
Thanks, guys. It's easy.
Have a good one.
All right, now joining us also from the PFL is Anthony Showtime Pettis, an absolute legend. It's an honor to get to speak to you. How are you doing right before the fight?
Oh, man, I can't complain. I just finished media day. Now all we have left is the weight cut.
Nice. And is it a tough weight cut for you at this point? Is it easy?
Oh, man, so much easier. Last year we had to be in the bubble for like 21 days, and that was a hard weight cut. Trying to make weight inside of the bubble was definitely something I never planned on doing before. But this time around, I'm sitting 5 pounds over. I'll probably make.
Oh, nice.
I'll cut half of it tonight and half in the morning.
Nice.
Coming into obviously the second season PFL, any different approach, or like you feel like differently about it coming in? Like now you've got a little experience with it, kind of the whole like format and just kind of the whole setup of just being in like a different organization.
Hell yeah. First season, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I took it like a normal fight. I did an 8-week training camp, and then I had the fight with Clay Collard, and I had to take like 2 weeks off for injuries. Like my legs were beat up from all the kicks I was throwing. And then we went right back in the bubble like 4 weeks out. So I literally had two weeks of a training camp in between the fights. This is definitely the hardest form of combat sports, because no matter what happens in your fights, you got to be ready to get back into a training camp and fight 8 weeks later. So knowing that process and knowing how I should approach these fights has definitely changed.
Is the mental aspect of it difficult? You're saying, as you just described how it's different in terms of getting into a training camp, but also like I'm sure it's mentally draining, a whole 8-week training camp, and then you got to be like, oh, I got to go again.
Yeah.
No, most definitely, bro. Like the weight cut, everything has to change up. You kind of like got to keep your body in a different mode. Like when I was fighting UFC, WEC, and I would fight and I would take my time off, and then when I was ready, I would book another fight. This time around, like that's not. There's no luxury of waiting, taking time off. You're right back into camp, and that changes the approach on the fights. Like the first season, I was like, yo, I'm gonna try knocking these guys out and hit them with a cartwheel kick or something crazy. And this time around, I understand like I got to save my body for the whole season.
Yeah. And how has the relationship with PFL been? Obviously, you mentioned WEC, the UFC legend. You dealt with those guys forever. I imagine you got very comfortable in the UFC, and now you're here with a new company. What's it been like?
They've been awesome, honestly. Like, so last year we had that bubble, and that was probably the worst part about it. Like, we had because the tournament format, they didn't want to lose any fighters, so they had to put us in there 3 weeks before our fight. So, like, you're talking about 3 fight cards, 2 weight classes each fight card, and all their corners in one floor of a hotel and one training room, one place to cut weight. So it was just a lot. I think for me, I wasn't used to that. I was used to the luxury of cutting weight at my house and having a masseuse massage my body if I was hurt. And I didn't have any of that. We had no PT, we had nothing. So I think they had to like they spent a lot of money, man. You're talking about like 60 fighters and 3 cornermen each, feeding them and housing them for 3 weeks at a time. So they did what they could for the bubble, but the executives of the company, man, they're awesome. Like they have helped me so much with even this fight around. And I had an injury earlier in my fight that almost earlier in my camp that would have took me out for the whole season if they were going to push my fight back, a couple weeks. And they said no problem, we want you part of the season, and it worked out.
I say, looking back, obviously we talk about you've had a legendary career. What do you think is like your favorite or maybe like performance you're most proud of?
I got asked that question last day. Actually, Wonder Boy was probably the toughest game plan that I had to go into. I mean, he was obviously way bigger than me. He's better at what I'm good at. My karate style, his karate style is his range was like a lot longer than I expected. But I stuck to a game plan in that fight, and most fans saw my nose bloody and they're like, "Oh, Pettis was getting beat up," but they didn't know what I was doing, and I was trying to shorten his stance up. Like Wonder Boy has a really wide karate stance, so I started attacking those legs with low kicks. And his stance got, tighter and tighter and tighter, and that's what gave me the knockout. Because once your stance gets like tighter, there's no head movement to dodge punches, and boom, I caught him. And for me, it was like, man, I planned to do that, I trained to do that, and I actually did it. And it was like, I'd say one of my best performances. Did you know that knockout is actually literally in the first paragraph of your Wikipedia? Like obviously, it literally is like the last sentence of like that intro paragraph is just he's the only person to knock out Wonder Boy. Bro, and I think I'm the only person to submit Charles Oliveira.
Oh, wow. That's a really good point.
Two nice feathers in the cap. Diaz just tweeted that. Did you see Diaz tweet that?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
I think he just tweeted the picture of it. Just you choking him out.
Yeah. I got him with a guillotine, yep.
Yeah.
Do you still keep up with fights throughout all the organizations, not just PFL?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I actually run my own promotion and a management company, so I'm definitely deep into this fight sport.
What's that been like, running your own promotion?
I was rough, brother. My first and only show so far happened in Florida, and we have the rest of it because I wanted to focus on my season. I did Florida in February. There's a lot more to it than what everybody thinks, man. Even on the local level, like anything could happen. The COVID rules were really strict. It was really hard to get fans in the audience. It was hard to get sponsors. Like it was definitely a challenge. But I think, like I said, the first one was the challenge. But now I figured out the formula. I'm taking it back to my hometown in Milwaukee in August. Then we're going to Vegas in September, and then back to Milwaukee in November.
Sweet. Are you trying to be like the Dana White of this? You showing up in suits to all this, kind of being the face of the promotion as well?
I'm rocking Cuban chains and Jordans, bro.
Oh, nice. Even better, yeah.
Do you think at a point, would you ever fight in your own promotion? I don't know, I just randomly thought of that.
For sure, bro. Yes.
Nice.
That's definitely one of the things that, I'm 35 years old. I think people forget that I've been in the sport so long. I'm still young compared to like the guys that I grew up with, like Cowboy Cerrone's turning 40, Clay Guida 40 years old. The era of the guys that I fought with are 5 years my elder. So I still have a lot more time in the sport. And yeah, I think the landscape's changing where like the UFC isn't the only place to fight. Obviously the PFL is treating their fighters well. Bellator, PFL. Khabib started his own organization, so there's more opportunities for fighters than ever.
And you got the promotion on Fight Pass, right? It's on UFC Fight Pass. That's awesome.
Yep. Huge. Definitely.
You obviously you're speaking of Bellator too. Like your brother, obviously the champ. He had the knockout of the year. Most like a lot of the like write-ups and stuff had it. Were you there? Were you there in person, right?
I wasn't there in person.
You weren't there?
I missed my flight, bro. It was a shitty I just had a baby and I was trying to like schedule it where I didn't leave enough. Like I didn't want to be gone for a whole weekend, so I was trying to get there the day of the fight, and I missed the flight. Didn't work out, so I was like, man, I'm just gonna staying back. So I stayed back and watched it at the house. But that was a Showtime kick moment. Like I had the Showtime kick and the spin back fist because he was losing that fight.
Yeah,
he was down 2 rounds, and he came back with a spin back fist from hell, bro.
That was unbelievable.
That's the reason why we named the show Spinning Back Fist, because you see a good spinning back fist knockout, and it's just like, fuck, there's nothing better than that.
He has to be on that highlight reel for you guys.
For sure.
Absolutely, yeah. What was you go crazy when you saw that? Was that just an all-time reaction? Like, did you celebrate more for him than yourself almost? Because it's your brother? I feel like I would.
I still do. Like, when he fights, I'm more nervous than my own fights. Because it's out of my control. Like, when he fights, it's like, man, like, I got to take a shot no matter what. Every time he fights,
I would be the same way.
One shot before I go out there.
I'd be the same exact way. I can't even imagine like watching my brother, especially like there's some people that do it on the same card. I can't imagine.
Oh yeah.
That. Canelo
we fought on the same card a bunch of times.
Canelo fought on the same card with 7 of his brothers. Did you know that?
He has 7 brothers?
He's got 6. He's one of 7 brothers, all pro fighters.
God damn.
That's fucking crazy. Imagine being those parents, having to watch 7 fights in a row of your kids.
Oh my God.
They're definitely Mexican.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the Canelo fight this weekend too. That's going to be amazing. Do you got any pick in that? Oh, you're going to be there.
I'm going right for my fight to back to. I live in Vegas, so it's easy.
Okay. Sick. I'll see you there. We're calling the fight. Barstool's got an alternate broadcast.
Well, shit, I'll be there for sure.
Unreal. Hopefully, we'll be able to like pull you aside, get an interview with Caleb and Rowan during that.
Yeah, I'm getting floor seats. I mean, I don't miss Canelo fights.
Is he your favorite boxer, or even
I would say
fighter?
Of all time, but currently, right now, currently, I mean, all time would have to be Chavez, bro. 89-0, unheard of. But Canelo right now, man, his defense, just the way he carries himself as a fighter, man. He's like going up to 175 pounds, coming around from where he's fought at in the championship. Yeah, he's amazing, bro. Like,
did you hear what he said today about wanting to fight Usyk?
No, what'd he say?
Yeah, what was it? He wants to fight him
at
201.
He wants to fight at 201, so it's heavyweight because he wants Usyk's heavyweight belt.
I believe in him. I think he could do it, bro. Like, his skill set is retarded, and his punching power is insane.
Because it's great. We looked Canelo's 5'7.5", Usyk's 6'3", huge guy.
I was trying to fight Anderson Silva. I almost had that fight too. I fought at 145, 155, 170, and I almost fought at 185.
You were close to getting that fight?
Wow.
Yeah, Anderson agreed to it, but at the time the UFC was like, I think it was his last fight on his contract.
Oh.
So they were trying to give him. They were trying to like make him. Nah, I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind.
That's smart. Yeah. That's crazy. That would have been like all-time legends fight.
Wild.
Pettis, Silva.
Yeah, he agreed to it, but that just didn't happen.
Can you see yourself? I was gonna say, can you see yourself ever boxing? We hear that from a ton of MMA fighters now. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I think my hands. Like I box with pro boxers all the time in Vegas, and I've seen like the skill level that they're at. I definitely can hang.
Okay, that'd be cool as well.
Were you, when you were younger, more of a boxing fan? Like, is that what you saw yourself as? Or,
yep.
Okay.
My dad, bro. My dad. It was the fight between Oscar De La Hoya and Tito Trinidad.
Okay.
And I was a young kid, but I remember like my dad's side's Puerto Rican and my mom's side's Mexican. So like the whole house was like against each other. My cousins on my mom's side, my cousins on my dad's side. And then when the results happened, bro, the Milwaukee went crazy. Like Milwaukee has a really strong like Hispanic community in a small part. There's a lot of us in like a little part.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's what made me. I was like, yo, I want to be a fighter. Like to see what kind of attention these guys got. I was like, yo, that's. My mom wouldn't let me box though.
Are you a box fan?
Wow. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Born and raised in Milwaukee, man, but it's easier to be a fan of them right now.
Yeah, for clearly, sure. Yeah.
Honestly, appreciate the time. Before you get out of here, I was just so curious. I said this before, guys, so I had to ask you. For someone, you look at three chumps like us, like a fat fuck like me breaking down the fights, or like even like saying, I try to not be too critical, but does that bother you a little bit? Like you see some guy like some fat asshole like me.
I'm a twig over here, yeah.
Bro, no, like some of the best coaches are not in fighter shape. You know, like if you have an eye for the sport, it's something that's like some people are athletes and some people have the eye and they understand the details of the science behind it. Yeah, so I mean, I hear some great breakdowns from guys that you would never expect to even watch fighting. Even some people, like when I go around, like I have like old ladies come up to me like, you should be kicking more. How do you even know that? It's crazy. Yeah, I respect it, man. Like everybody has their gift, man. And some people's gift is coaching. Some people's got great eyes of actually seeing the science behind it, and some of us are actually doing it.
I respect that.
Yeah,
As
appreciate
great as an
that.
answer as we could ever ask
We're
for on that
scientists.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
I
go.
feel like we should call it
Scientists.
at this because we're not getting any better than that. Anthony, thank you so much for the time. We'll let you go cut that weight, and we're rooting for you in PFL.
All right, guys, appreciate you. We'll see you Saturday at the fights.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.